The Tampa Bay Buccaneers kick off their Super Bowl defense tonight against the Dallas Cowboys, and they are in a weird position for a Super Bowl champ because they brought everyone back. There are no excuses to be made. There doesn't seem like there is much at all to prove except go out and do it again. Joining me now from Locked On Bucs, David Harrison. And David, as the Locked On Packers host, it pains me a little bit to intro it that way, but that is, it seems, the reality here. So as we start this season, Tom Brady is as decorated a player as we have ever had. The Buccaneers is a fan base that was starved for a winner. They got that first title in 20 years. So what do they have left to prove this season?
Just that they can do it again. And I mean, I think that's really kind of what it boils down to. And not only that they can do it again from a national standpoint, because we all know that NFL champions, if over the last 20 years, especially, they either don't make the playoffs or they fail to at least be as impressive, because a lot of times now you have film, teams can prepare for you a little bit better. And this team, especially, I mean, with returning all their starters is great, but it also has a little bit of a double edge to it because now, again, it's all your starters. So everybody knows what you do, what you're doing. And we're being told that there are some things that are hidden up people's sleeves that people haven't seen before. But again, eventually those are going to get exposed as well. You're going to have to use those tricks, and then people will see those as well. I think the great part of this is Tom Brady, because he's the ultimate, my favorite ring is my next ring. Even getting his Super Bowl ring with the Buccaneers, he still said my favorite one is the next one. He doesn't even allow himself to take that night and say, okay, tonight, this one's my favorite one. Tomorrow, my next one will be my favorite one. And a lot of people say that, but in his career, you can honestly say that, okay, the proof is in the pudding. He means what he says when he says those things. And then again, guys like Lavonte David, who know what it means to be unsuccessful in this league, they're not taking this for granted. And I think that's really where this team is a little bit different than some of those previous teams. And that's why there's a lot of confidence that this team can actually put that behind them. And the 2021 Buccaneers can go out and try to establish their own history instead of worrying about what the 2020 Bucs did.
So every team wants to get off to a hot start. I love that in the broadcast. The coach told me this week that they want to get off to a good start. I would love to hear the interview where that reporter says, you know what, the coach that told me this week, hey, we don't care if we get off to a slow start. Like, that's just not a thing that's going to happen. But with this team, I am curious, because as you said, it is all the same guys. So it's not like they brought in a bunch of veterans who are now hungry for that new title. How concerned would you be if they do, let's say, get off to a slow start? Even if they beat Dallas, they get off to a bit of a slow start, that some of that complacency starts to creep in, or is it the other way? They get off to a hot start and they go, oh yeah, that's right, we're awesome. Like, which would be more concerning to you in terms of worrying about complacency?
It's going to be more concerning if they lose because of that complacency. Like, if they come out and they win, you want to see a team that's going to fight to the end, because one, you're going to need it. You know what I mean? You need 4 quarters of fight. You never want to take a game off. And, you can even look back to the Detroit Lions game. Like the Detroit Lions game, they were blowing that team out of the water. So, there's no reason to risk starter health and all that stuff. So they put their backups in, but the backups came in and they came out playing. Like, Blaine Gabbert came out there to win a football game, throw touchdowns, and put
they
stats
could have
up
put
on the board.
70 on that Lions team in that game.
Exactly. And they ran the ball. They let the play clock get down, you know what I mean? But once the ball was snapped, and that's what's important, the pads were cracking and the ball was flying. So that's what you want to see for 4 quarters of every single game, whether you're losing or winning. I would be more concerned if this team lost and kind of coasted to the end of that loss. That, to me, would be more concerning than any other outcome in this game. I mean, if the Dallas Cowboys win because they're just the better team on this night, then they win. You know what I mean? But if the Buccaneers lose, and they lose with it's 0-1 attitude, like, it is 0-1, and we'll tell the fan base, guys, it's just 0-1. But the players shouldn't be ending the game. It's just 0-1, especially with giant Lombardis inflated outside your stadium. You know what I mean? That would be the most concerning thing to me. So that's really where we're going to find out if we're right. If the Tom Brady effect is really taking hold, if the Lavonte Davids of the world, their hunger for continuing success is really taking hold in that locker room. And then young guys like Devin White, is Devin White the kind of guy who's going, man, this is easy. 2 years, I'm a Super Bowl champ. 3 years, we're Super Bowl favorites. This is just going to be my career. That's where you want to see it. And really, the first loss is where you're going to see what kind of personality this team has.